table on Hawaii's defense has quickly turned from inexperienced to hard-hitting. And as Liz Chun reports, it's a reputation the Warriors are thriving on.
UH defensive coordinator Cal Lee describes Hawaii's defense right now as a work in progress. But Lee says the way the Warriors are coming along, you wouldn't think UH is the only defense in the country this year without any returning starters.
Well, we're running to the ball, which is exciting to me. I mean, we got 11 guys going to the ball, pursuing. You know, the energy that they show on the field is exciting too.
Hawaii's defense is applying the pressure and applying the pain.
People are going to, start to worry, like, man, if I go across that middle, I might get hit, or if a quarterback sits back in the pocket too long, I might not just get sacked, I might get hurt. And that's it's good to have that aspect of fear.
Yeah, I love hitting. I love the fact when two helmets collide and your brain just rattles for a minute there. But it's part of our local style, and that's something that we love to do.
UH is also gaining a reputation of taking the ball away. Corey Paredes ranks first in the country with 2 others for forced fumbles with 3. Hawaii is also number 3 for fumble recoveries with 5. So with the turnover battle in check, the Warriors are focusing on the red zone. All 5 touchdowns against Hawaii so far have come inside the 25.
It's tough. It's tough in the red zone, that's for sure.
When the field gets shorter like that.
Yeah, you feel you're back up against the wall, and I mean, it feels like a way smaller football field when you're in the red zone.
But it's something you guys are working on this week?
Yeah, we're working on the red zone, that's for sure. I mean, we have some new plays we're pulling out of the playbook, and hopefully it's going to work in the game.
Head coach Greg McMackin says the learning curve continues for the Warriors. Through the first couple of games, Hawaii has only gone through about half of its defensive package. Reporting from Las Vegas, Nevada, Liz Chun, KGMB 9 Sports.
Thanks, Liz. The Rebels are 7-point favorites going into Saturday's 5 p.m. kickoff against Hawaii.
They're pretty talented. I mean, this is definitely, no ifs, ands, or buts, the best team that we have played this year, and we've got to take our game to another level. We have to play a lot better than we did against Washington State to win this ball game.
How's it going, everybody? 2-0 Warrior. Much respect to the Rebels. Saturday night in Las Vegas, UH will line up against a UNLV squad that has 15 returning starters. That includes senior leader and one of the most accurate long snappers in the country, Kamehameha Kapalama graduate Kamu Kapanui, one of 5 local boys on the Rebel roster.
It's got to be a little extra special for you playing against Hawaii.
Well, a lot of those guys I grew up playing with. It's funny because I'm kind of old now. It's my 5th year, and I see guys that are starting for their team that, I saw them as like the young guys who, weren't even on varsity yet. You're trying to win. It's like, it's like how they come out every game, having that fan base and that, playing for your state, playing for your people. And I feel like that every game also, it's more than just me, more than just the team. It's the community. But Vegas is my community now, and we have lots of Hawaiian fans out here that support the Rebels.
Now, come Saturday night, Warriors may be without freshman defensive end Pai Falimalu. Kahuku graduate suffered a sprained right ankle in practice this morning and has been on crutches since. Last week in Hawaii's 38-20 victory over Washington State, Falimalu posted 3 tackles, including a sack, forced fumble, and fumble recovery. UH leads the all-time series 12-6, holding a 2-game win streak. Warriors are currently listed as much as 7-point underdogs. Kickoff set for Saturday at 5 p.m. Hawaii time.
He's calling it a business trip because Warrior football head coach Greg McMackin wants everyone to focus on winning. He's even given his players strict rules to follow during their time in Las Vegas as they prepare for Saturday's game. Now, Hawaii may have the momentum behind them coming off their 38-20 victory over Washington State, but they're not the favorites when they face the Rebels. According to USA Today, UNLV is favored by 7 points, even though their starting quarterback is questionable after an injury and a loss last week.
Obviously, they're a very good football team that went right down to the wire with Oregon State. They have a lot of talent. They have 2 very good quarterbacks, great receivers, and then they're very good on defense also.
But just because they're favored, UNLV head coach Mike Sanford knows this game won't be an easy one. Not only are there a lot of Hawaii fans in Sin City, but the Warriors are pretty good themselves.
Hawaii is a very good football team. They threw for a ton of yards against Washington State. Their quarterback, Greg Alexander, is a big, strong, physical, good thrower. They have a receiver, Greg Salas, number 1, who's a very good player. Their defense is very physical, tough, athletic defense, and we've got our work cut out for us.
And make sure you note the change in kickoff time. It was originally scheduled for an earlier hour, but it's now set for 5 p.m. Hawaii time. Again, 5 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. in Vegas.
How you doing, everybody? Let's talk sports. Saturday, the UH Warrior football team will look to remain unbeaten to start the 09 season, venturing into Sam Boyd Stadium in Vegas to challenge UNLV, and that looks to be no easy task. Nevada Las Vegas is 1-1, but coming off a narrow defeat at the hands of Oregon State last week, they feature two very capable quarterbacks in starter Omar Clayton and sophomore backup Mike Clausen, a lefty. Clayton, who left that game against the Beavers complaining of a sore knee, is expected to start against the Warriors. Clausen, though, threw 2 touchdowns in relief as the Rebels almost pulled off the comeback victory. Senior receiver Ryan Wolf, he's an All-America candidate who already holds the school record for receptions as well as receiving yards. UNLV ranks 47th in the nation in total defense. Hawaii, by the way, is 66th. Warriors coach Greg McMackin says Hawaii has to be ready to run with the Rebels.
UNLV is a very athletic team. Obviously, it's the best team that we will have played, and they've really improved themselves. We played them 2 years ago, and they've really improved themselves athletically. Their receivers, they have 2 quarterbacks that are outstanding. Their defense is very fast. They have a defensive line coach named Andre Patterson that I've known for a long time. He coached in the pros, and he's got the defensive line really getting upfield and doing a good job. But their secondary can really run. Like I say, they're very athletic, very fast, play physical. It's going to be a tough, hard-fought ball game.
A ball game made even tougher now that the Warriors could be without defensive end Paipai Falimalu this weekend after he suffered an apparent ankle sprain in practice today. Falimalu was on crutches following the injury, but he says that it wasn't that serious. Coach Mack, though, says his status for Saturday is currently uncertain. Falimalu, a redshirt freshman out of Kahuku, has 3 tackles and a fumble recovery for Hawaii this season. Rebels are the 1-touchdown favorite in this game. Warriors are 2-0, and coming off that 38-20 beatdown of Washington State. Kickoff Saturday is set for 5 p.m. Hawaii time. Our John Veneri will be sending back reports from Sin City starting Friday, so be on the lookout for that.